are sweet, those unheard are sweeter. Therefore ye soft pipes, play on, not to the central ear, but more endeared pipes. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I was just revisiting my Keats for an essay that I'm writing. But since you're here, we might as well talk about Seinfeld, right? Classic episode of Seinfeld, obviously, the contest. It begins in Monk's coffee shop, as the show is wont to do, with three characters, Kramer, Elaine, and Jerry, sitting, and Jerry proposes this idea that if you are a hostage, will they do laundry for you at any point? Now, this is a fairly stupid premise, which is why they did not use it in a first season episode as it was intended for. Elaine suggests, of course, it is in the Geneva Conventions, they have to do a wash. And then Kramer goes on to play the part of the hostage taker, the terrorist, demanding, as a terrorist would, give me the clothes, I need to do the wash. This is a certain concept of the show. Jerry is a stand-up comedian with nothing to worry about. He brings up jokes with his friends, they are also funny, they riff on the jokes with him, they drink coffee. Done. However, this is not the show. This is a later season, things are getting very good, and this is an episode written by Larry David. Larry David's stand-in in the show, George Costanza, played by Jason Alexander, has yet to enter the episode. And here comes George. He has a problem, which becomes the premise for the rest of the episode. Now, the jokes that Jerry and Elaine and Kramer tell about this hypothetical terrorism laundry situation are not very funny. But there's a studio audience, they're laughing. It is a sitcom. Everybody laughs anyway. We're not thinking, we've had a long day at work, or we're brain dead because we just watched 5 hours of TV. Whatever it is, we're just playing along with it. However, George comes in, representing the Larry David element in the episode, and it's a whole nother ballgame. What is interesting is that what George has been caught doing by his mother is actually more interesting than what is actually happening in the show. The show is masturbation. Jerry could actually follow through. He could read biographies of people that survived hostage situations and see what the laundry situations actually are like. Because I'm sure it is a very real situation for them, but not for him because he is a television character. And in real life, he is a stand-up comedian who is very successful, so successful that he has his own television show. But he doesn't do that. He does not follow through. He does not create something. He does not put the proverbial binaries together to create the new whole, new life. He spills his seed on the ground without accomplishing anything. And, oh, of course, the contest. The contest is, if you haven't seen the episode, they see who can go the longest without masturbating. So there's some sexual frustration that populates the episode. It's very funny. Now the way that George explains his situation is that his mom asks him why is he doing what he's doing, and he's masturbating with her copy of Glamour at his mom's house in the bathroom, and she stumbles in, she falls down, and she is in traction in the hospital. And of course this is very serious, much like the hostage situation, but a bit more real, as in, it has more to do with their real life. When she catches him, he says, "Why?" She says, "Why?" He says, "Because it's there." Which, of course, is what Sir Thomas Malory, the explorer, said, why seek Mount Everest? Because it's there. But what do we know about Sir Thomas Malory? We found his bones on the slope of Everest. But we don't necessarily know if he made it to Everest and came back, or if he just died in the process. Either way, like Onan, and like Jerry, and like George, his seed, his genes, are nothing but DNA left on the ground to no actual point. But he might have made it to Mount Everest and then died on the way back. We don't know. Just like Seinfeld. Is it just complete masturbation? Or did it reach the highest point on Earth and then just fall down on the way back? I don't know if that's really an answerable question. Okay, the best stuff is when they go to the hospital and George is sitting next to his mom and the neighbor patient is getting a sponge bath. She says, though, because George is he's very unsuccessful, unemployed, doesn't live with his parents at this point, though. I don't think. The point is, though, she says, why don't you could do this for a living? Why you could sell out Madison Square Garden? You'd be a big star. Which is hilarious because George is Larry David, who is in fact selling out the proverbial Madison Square Garden by having the most successful television show on TV about his stand-in character masturbating. And Jerry Seinfeld playing himself. His major premise of that episode revolving around masturbation. But what makes it such a brilliant episode is that it commits itself to the idea of masturbation. It isn't just masturbation. It is very, very much about something. Even though it's just masturbation. But it's not just about nothing. It's about something very specific. And is very successfully about this thing. And it follows it through to the end. And it is a classic. Well, thanks for coming by. I'm going to go back to my desk here in my parents' garage and reread my Keats for the book that I'm writing about Seinfeld. Have a good one. The Gothic whip solemn, the plain Doric column, supports an old bishop enclosure.